Since the cat won't shut up, we're going to go ahead with it anyway. Our new four-wheel camper. It is the Hawk Shell model. This is an '07 GMC 3/4 ton pickup it's mounted on. And like I said, the basic model, only thing we had added to it was the solar panel on the roof and a fantastic fan, which was counted as a second vent. You see on this side, pretty large window. We've worked around the back. It does have a small window here, which is nice, and the window in the door is also nice when driving. You can see out the back of the truck if you're pulling a trailer or just see traffic behind you. It's got the little handle here. It does help because it is a little bit of a steep climb. You're better off having the steep climb so you don't bump your head on the top of the door going in. It's got the floodlight, which is pretty bright for what it is. On the back door you have two locks. Actually there's three. You got two locks on this. This one just locking the handle. This one here is a small deadbolt. They both work off this one key. This one here takes a separate key, which is a pretty stout deadbolt. We call it the bear bolt, bear lock. Part here is the handle that holds the door back. It just slips in here and you just push in. To release it, you just push that in. That slips up. Pretty sturdy deal. Right here is another solar port. If you have a fold-away one, or you can, got some wires, set it out in the sun, run that cordage into here and plug in, you'd have a second solar panel. It does come wired with that factory, regardless if you get the solar panel or not. This side here, as you can see, is pretty basic, nothing there. We didn't get a window there because we will have some type of cabinetry storage on the inside wall there. The jack bracket that the jacks mount on to be able to offload the camper from the truck, that is something else that we had to purchase separate from the camper itself, is the jacks. The jack brackets are standard. Jacks is an additional charge. We will be adding an extension to the rear brackets. They'll set out another 6 inches there, and the jacks actually mount out on those. That moves the jacks out further because of the fender flares we have. Or if you have wide tires, you'll need that extension to widen those back two jacks so that you'll be able to offload your camper. As you can see, there's a pretty good gap here. When they installed it on the truck, there's actually a rubber bumper on the two front corners here that hold the camper off of this front bed rail. This area here is wide enough. I think we're going to slip a rug in there that will set behind the camper just to keep excess dirt, grass, etc. Kind of knock some of that down from getting inside the camper. I'm 5'9". On my tiptoes, I can reach the top of that buckle and pull that down. We've been doing a fair amount of camping in it in the last couple weeks. Most of the time you're not on level ground, so it's not too hard just to step up on the Nerf bar and take that down. Now, when it did get mounted on the truck, the dealer mentioned to make sure this portion of the buckle comes down with it, because that'll get grit and grime in it, and it'll stick up and get caught when you go to raise that. And if you force through it, push through that, it will bend that aluminum roof. Okay, I'm going to unbuckle these two buckles on both front corners. You got a buckle on each corner in the back. And then I'm going to step inside and you can see it pop up. Going inside the camper on the rear driver's side, this is the battery box. There is a lock on that. The state of California requires their lock to be on their battery boxes. We opted just for the standard one battery that came with it. You got all your wiring in there. going up inside. As you can see, it's pretty basic. It is the shell model, so there's no frills there. Starting over here again, this is the driver's side. This is the battery box here. You got your solar readout there, your battery readout. Up here is your this is your 12 volt outlet, 2 USBs, and then another readout there. Here you have a switch for the battery that disconnects the battery, so you're not draining anything when the camper's in storage. Just flips on and off. Here you got flip down doors. In this one here, it's actually pretty full of wiring and fuses. You might have a little bit of storage up here in the front, and then up in front of that there's another storage door, which that is obviously you could use that one for storage. Okay, down below these drop down doors is this is the doors that help you access your turnbuckles. You got one here and then another one up in the front. That's what keeps the camper mounted to the truck. There is a fair amount of storage in here as well, up over your wheel well and in front of and behind. If you have something that you don't mind you getting a little dusty or a little wet, there's a lot of storage in there. This is the windows here. You have where it's fully closed and blocked off. And then this is just a plastic layer for you can see through, but no air can get in. And then that strips down and you just have a screen window there for good airflow. There's 4 of the windows there, and they're across from each other, so you get some good cross ventilation with that. Up here is your Polar Pack. It is a Velcro for the Polar Pack. We opted not to get that, but that comes standard where that's already set up. If we want to get the Polar Pack at a later time, we can get it, and it'll just Velcro right onto that. Up here is you can see the lighting, just a touch light. If you hold on that, it will dim. There's 4 of them. We got 2 in the back and then 2 in front up over the bed. This is the window behind the cab. As you can see, it's got a curtain. All the windows have curtains that can just be unsnapped, put across for a little privacy. The bed here, as it is a full-size bed. It slides out, which makes a queen. 2 extra pads come with it, and they just slip right in here if you feel the need for that queen bed. It's pretty easy there. Up above the bed, we have a vent. That's just a regular vent. Here's the Fantastic fan. It has a knob here that you can manually open or close the top vent. And then here is your controls for it. It has just push button controls. It has a rain sensor where if it detects rain, if the vent is up, it will automatically close it. And it has the sure on and off. It will pull air into the camper, or it will exhaust it out of the camper, whichever way you're wanting to do that. Moving around to this is be on the passenger side is the large window. This is also your emergency exit. Window slides open to where you have half of it would be ventilation. A little cubby box here for storage. Actually, you can get a lot of small stuff in. It's got a couple dividers that come out, or you can slip them back in for whatever you're wanting to put in there. Got the fire extinguisher that comes with it. Smoke detector up on the ceiling here. Okay, this is over on the passenger side. 2 more drop down doors. And I did measure that, and that's about 5 foot long, and I think it's 4 inches deep. So there's a fair amount of storage there. Again, 2 doors, access your turnbuckles. And again, a lot of storage up under that, up over your fender well and in front of and in back of that. One more storage area here. Not very deep, but you can see it Every amount of storage you can get in here is good with as small of an area as it is. I will be doing an in-depth video on interior and exterior measurements, so watch for that one.